What's up, guys? Greetings and blessings. This is yours truly, Empress Chassie Worms, aka All That Chas, aka Lupus Slayer, coming to you guys spontaneously. Um, just want to talk about chronic illnesses, diseases awareness, my Gloves On campaign, which I'm advocating for those battling chronic illness, diseases, and disabilities. And a lot of people are battling chronic illnesses and diseases and don't realize that they are, because they're being misdiagnosed, or the doctors are not sure what it is, because certain chronic illness and diseases, especially like lupus, visceral syncope, Crohn's disease, multiple sclerosis, fibromyalgia, they actually have so much in common. Their symptoms are so similar that it can be really challenging itemizing them and breaking them down to know which one is which. So it does take a lot of testing, and sometimes it could take quite a few years, um, for them to really diagnose exactly what it is that's going on with you guys. Before I get started, I want you guys to go ahead and follow me on all my social medias for my Gloves On campaign. I'm going to pull it up for you right now. And you can follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, Facebook, and of course on YouTube. On YouTube, you get to see my flare ups and get more knowledge and information, more in depth information about chronic illnesses and diseases. So, do you guys time to follow those? Oh, okay, so you guys see that Lupus Slayer all the way across the board. It's Lupus Slayer, so you can't get lost. But um, lupus is the reason why I selected Lupus Slayers, because I really couldn't think of anything at the moment, to do creative. But I do have something that creative, and I wish I would have used it. And good morning to everybody who's watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. Please leave a comment. I can see your comments, and I'll be able to respond to you verbally, but I can't respond to you guys, of course, in message until I'm done. But I want to tell you guys about the chronic illness and diseases that I battle, because for the longest of time, it's like, I don't know, you feel guilty for having issues and conditions, or having situations and circumstances that's beyond your control, that put you in a position to that it will alter your life, because it doesn't just alter your life, it also alters the life of those who love you and care for you. um, and so going through these battles and these challenges have been, it has, it is, I'm going to be realistic about it. I know a lot of times people, they, when you be realistic about things and it's more on the negative side, they try to make you feel like you're being negative. But I'm not being negative. I'm being realistic and optimistic at the same time. And the realization is there are far more challenging days and bad days than good days with me battling chronic illness and diseases. Like, to be honest, even right now, I'm actually flared up. Not feeling well, not feeling my best at all. Um, but I'm trying to just push through it, because I slept so long, and I'm now back on a backward sleep schedule, when I was trying to put myself on a sensible sleep schedule, because I know that most people are up, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. People are going by the hustle bustle of life. They go into work. And so I try to be up during those operable hours, because it's more convenient for a lot of people to do business. But when I have these flare ups and I'm having these chronic illness and diseases that I'm battling, it doesn't allow me to have that kind of liberty, like I desire to. So it is an up and down thing with, and it's an unpredictable thing, because I can be feeling fine and then I can suddenly get really sick. For instance, I was feeling good, I was fine, but then I ate, I forgot what it was. It was like after I ate a piece of, it was an apple. I ate an apple and I got sick. That's when the flare up started. And the thing about it is, it's not even just the apple. It could be anything that I eat, anything that I could drink, even water. Actually have more flare ups when I drink water. If I like in the mornings, I like to drink a bottle of water in the morning. But a lot of times they can be challenging. So I may have to have some hot tea, which I went ahead and had first. I had my hot tea. So I'm waiting, give my body time, and then I'm going to try to drink some water because for some reason, whenever I drink, a lot of times, rather not every time, but majority of the time when I drink water, it provokes flare-ups. I start having issues. And that's just weird to me. I don't even understand where they come from. Hi everybody, thanks for watching. I cannot see who's all watching. I do apologize for that. I'm trying to keep my big old finger out the way, but I can't see who's watching. So um if you if you're let me see. I'm sorry about that, guys. Let me just leave it alone because I didn't touch nothing else unless I'm responding back to a comment. But the realization is that it's very unpredictable, unpredictable. There's no pattern. There's no consistent pattern with it. There's nothing particularly that can trigger it or that I can do or cannot do that will minimize the triggerings, minimize the flare ups because they just happen so spontaneously and just out of the blue. And some people have been able to take medications to kind of subdue the flare ups from being as aggressive. But if you have other chronic health issues or any other health issues, it can be more challenging because especially when you have other chronic health issues or if you have other autoimmune issues, if you have issues with your blood pressure, you hyper, have hypertension, you just you have some certain issues. It can make it more challenging. Good morning, Charmaine. You having a flare up too? The mornings are crazy. Like the mornings, do you have flare ups when you take showers? And that's another thing, guys. Taking showers, doing normal everyday things can cause flare ups. Okay, there's nothing that you can do or cannot do that won't trigger them. So let's just make that clear because a lot of people, and I get there just from when I read and read other people's responses, they feel like it's something that you can do about it, and it really isn't. Oh, okay, guys. I'm going to pull up her comment so you guys can see her comment. Yeah, she has it when she shower. Yeah, I don't know what it is about the showering, but when you shower, it seems like it triggers it. And so it's really hard when, say, for instance, okay, when we go to disability, and this I know because I done went through this like 3 times. I go to disability court because my conditions, the chronic illness and diseases that it may battle are considered invisible disease because they don't show from the outside in, they reflect from the inside out. So I can have it could be like 80% to 85% of my flare-ups and symptoms are happening internally and they're not completely reflecting outwardly. So looking, just physically looking, a lot of times I may look okay. I may look just like I'm just tired though. You're probably like, oh, you look kind of tired. Your face looking kind of flushed. It's not because I'm tired as far as like just because I worked all day or I've been really busy. I'm having a flare up. But disability judges don't understand that. So when you get strength and energy and you are able to try to have some kind of quality life, like you try to do something to feel half normal, as far as a quality of life, then they try to turn around and use that against you and be like, oh, well, you could do this. We saw you do that. We had people follow you, and this is what they invest. This is what they that's what you call outwardly. But you don't see what goes on when I have to get back, once I come back inside and it all catches up with me. You're not seeing that though. So, it's just the way they're so-called investigations of how they determine if you are or not disabled is just really foolish. Yeah, doing simple things like this, sweeping, mopping, keeping maintaining your home, cooking. Um, it doesn't matter what it is, just sitting down, just breathing. Just breathing and living can cause flare ups. You don't have to do anything particularly to provoke them. So, with my Gloves On campaign, you know, um, what I do is I follow a lot of these, like I follow the Lupus Alliance. I follow my lupus team. I like the my lupus team because I meet so many different people that has other different types of chronic illnesses and diseases also. And um, it's been really helpful and very supportive. The people are very supportive in that group. They love to support you. And also, I follow the Lupus Foundation of America. And so, one thing I noticed with all of with these foundations and these organizations for lupus, they really don't do anything to help the person, individuals who are battling. What they do is they doing a lot of research. They spending a lot of money on campaigns, on research, but they're not helping us get the medical assistance and the health insurance and stuff that we need. They don't spend too much money and time with that, even with the U.S. House of Representative. I think this was back in like maybe 2019. They had approved 400 women, no women. Let me go back. $40 million to go towards the lupus research. But the thing is, that's a lot of money. Yet there's still a lot of people like me and like Charmaine who are battling lupus, and we have not seen one red cent of it. Like it has not benefited us in no form or fashion directly. Like there's no eco-friendly houses or developments being, created and built for people who are battling chronic illness diseases because we cannot go and work conventional jobs. Not too many of us. We can't go and punch in on somebody's clock because we never know how our body is going to feel. Even if we feel fine that morning, say we get up, and I have had this happen so many times, it's just, I can't even count how many times, it's just innumerable. But I get up, I go take my shower, I'm ready, I'm just like feeling well. By the time I take, and I pace myself, I don't rush and do it because I know first and foremost, battling chronic illness diseases, when I get up, my eyes and brain might be up, but my body is still isn't awake. My body is still trying to wake up and adjust. It's still trying to, get in gear. So I have to wait till that happen first. And that can be between 30 minutes to 3, 4, 5 hours. It may not even happen at all. So that's the challenge. I cannot say verbatimly if I was on a 9 to 5 schedule or if I was on a particular work schedule, I would not be able to honor that work schedule. I would end up calling out a lot. I would miss so many days. There would be a lot of no calls, no shows because my body is unpredictable like that. So even if I have my alarm set, people are like, oh, just set your alarm. That doesn't work. It doesn't. When your body shuts down, I don't care how many alarms going off. You can't. You may want to, but you can't move. You can't get up. You can't sit up in the bed like you want to. You can't hardly sit up in the bed where you can't even barely get out of the bed. There's been so many times where I've had to really just, if I have to use the restroom, I have to just wait or have to get, if my son is up, he'll come and carry me to the bathroom or something because it's just, and, I try to maintain a certain weight and I'm trying to even lose, well, working on losing more weight because he had to help me. And a part of that requirement is physically helping me, where he had to physically lift me and stuff. So I don't want to have so much weight where it's on him. And so, my son, he's young, and he's been dealing with that since like age 13, 14. Actually, he started before then because even before I moved back to Georgia, um, I was having some complications. So he has really been pretty much aiding me in my health since he was maybe like 8 or 9 years old. Okay, so he's been going through it for a long time. And so that puts a lot of burden and strain and stress on the body and on your loved ones. Then stress provokes. I can't do customer service work because I can't, people get on my, people would do things, they're going to get on your nerves, true enough. I don't care how much you pray, kumbaya, meditate, you're a human being. You're not invincible, okay? And at some point in time, the stress of the job or even just the demands of the job itself can create stress on your body that you're not realizing that it's creating. And all of a sudden you have a flare up at work. They're not going to know what to do because there's really no remedy. Like, unlike with a seizure, like if somebody having a seizure, you roll them over to their right side. And if you can't put like a little spoon or something to keep them from biting on their tongue, or put something, like a doggy toy or something, chew toy in their mouth so that they don't bite their tongue off. Well, when you having a flare from chronic illnesses like lupus or from vasovagal syncope, from multiple sclerosis, from fibromyalgia, there's you can't do anything about it. You have to it just have to subside on its own. There's nothing you can drink or nothing you can eat. Like somebody who's having a hypoglycemia attack, I have those sometimes where my blood sugar would drop too low. Even though I'm regulating it, it can still just drop low. And I could get some peanut butter, drink some orange juice, and I'd be good. It'll boost my sugar back up, or get some immediate insulin, and it'll build my sugar level back up where it needs to be, and I'll be fine. You can't do that when you have flare ups with certain chronic diseases and illnesses. So they have to subside. And a lot of people don't understand that. Even if you explain it to them, they still, when if it happens, they be like a deer caught in headlights. They don't know to go left or go right or what to do. So there's a lot of challenges that comes with battling chronic illness and diseases uh, that causes disabilities that you cannot explain because it's just one of those things you just have to experience yourself to really thoroughly understand it. I can talk to you all day and try to explain to you all day. It's not going to, you won't convey it unless you are actually experiencing it. And, for yourself, you're not going to know. And then not only that, even if you're experiencing it for yourself, like me, Charmaine, we both have lupus. The way it comes on her, the way her flare ups may come on, it may not come on to me on that level. Even though we will have the same symptoms, just because hers may be aggressive today, mine may not be aggressive today. Mine may be aggressive tomorrow or later on today. So there's no, like, again, there's just no pattern with it. So when I notice about these foundations and organizations for lupus, they really don't invest the money in the people who are actually battling those illnesses and diseases. So I don't support them. I decided I want to create my own because what I want to do is I don't want to just go to the state senate, the U.S. House, go to Congress and U.S. House of Representative and the U.S. Senate and ask for money, to research. No, we don't. We got enough research going on. What we need is a justice system that eliminates judges from denying us disability when we not only have several doctors, like I may have a whole team of doctors, 16 doctors that have confirmed and that is showing concrete proof that I have these chronic illness diseases. I have photos and videos that are showing that I have these chronic illness and diseases, that these judges are not allowed to then say, because I tried to help myself and do something independently, that I'm able to just go out here and just work and do and live uh, a typical normal life like everybody else when I cannot physically do that. Um, so I want to fix it where if they're going to have judges, they're not allowed to, and they're little mediators. Yeah, they and the mediators too, that sits back and do recordings, and based on what you're saying and what you're describing that you can do and cannot do, that they try to dictate to you what kind of employment or occupation they feel like you would be suitable for. When they're not in your body, they have never spent any quality time with you at all. So they don't see you when you have your flare ups. They don't know how it works. They don't know what you're going through in your body. They shouldn't have no voice in it at all. Judges should not be able to override what your doctor says, especially when they're not even experts in those chronic illnesses, diseases. They're not doctors, they're judges. So they should be able to override whatever your doctor says, especially when it's consistent and you have concrete proof that this is what's going on with you. And I just think it's unfair. And then, especially, I know here in the state of Georgia, it could take almost 2 years, 2 consecutive years, to even get a disability court hearing date. So what am I supposed to do for that time? So if I try to help myself so that I can keep my bills paid, keep a roof over my head, keep myself fed, because here in the state of Georgia as well, I'm not eligible for any kind of Medicaid or Medicare because I'm not a single parent of a child that's 18 or under. I'm not pregnant. I'm not a disabled veteran. I'm not already on disability. I'm not elderly. Um, and so because of those reasons, I don't qualify for any Medicaid or Medicare here in the state of Georgia. So I'm just out here fitting for myself. So with my Gloves On campaign, my petition, it all those little red tapes, I am protesting to have those red tapes removed because it's complete 100% injustice and it's inhumane, because I shouldn't have to. Then I have chronic asthma. I can't even go to the doctor, and I have asthma flare ups where I literally be suffocated and can't breathe. And I have to really, I just be in tears. I just be crying and I just pray for a remedy because I can't even get my inhalers because I don't qualify for the Medicaid or Medicare. Okay, okay, Charmaine. So with with that, I deal with so much, not just me, but other people who battle chronic illness diseases. We experience these um, discriminatory and inhumane, inhumanitarian attitudes and injustices, and it's not right. So what I decided to do with my Gloves On campaign is, instead of just focusing on the researching for a quote unquote remedy, when they can send people to the moon, and they got pods on the moon right now for the rich people to go out there. Mankind get finished destroying the earth and tearing up all the natural and destroying all, trying to anyway, destroy all the natural resources in the earth. Then they're going to take their behinds up to Mars and live in these pods that they have that are really nice. I don't know if you guys have actually seen the documentary, but these pods are real nice. And these pods have microwaves. I mean, like they're like luxurious homes like you have here on Earth. So I'm not trying to have no premature death because they trying to kill me. So my Just Hunt campaign is to truthfully help those who are battling chronic illnesses and diseases causing them disabilities. And not only that, but even where I want to even have a like a mini farmers market in every state. It's in, especially states that have high numbers of people who battle chronic illness diseases, and have like mini markets there where they they cultivate their own land, their own herbs and spices, where everything is completely organic. All of the fruits that is grown, all of the vegetables and herbs that are grown are 100% natural and organic, because that helps a whole lot. So I don't know if you guys just saw this news report with Bill Gates. He said that this summer is going to be really, really hot. It's going to be a drought. And it's going to be a lot of deaths. They're predicting it's going to be high counts of death. It's animals going to die from the heat exhaustion and from the drought. It's pretty much like a famine. They're intentionally setting these famines in the earth because they want to depopulate the earth, because they said that we have outpopulated them, and they're afraid that with us outpopulating them, that we as humans, as citizens, as they call civilians, will eventually dominate and take over and be able to strong arm them instead of us being under their control. They'll be under our control. So they're trying to intentionally destroy the planet. As we know, we all see it. It's not rocket to science. But so for that reason, may understand that we can't rely on the government. It's not their intentions to help us. It's not their desire to help us. So we have to do things to help ourselves. I know, right? It is hard to lose weight when you can't exercise like you want to. That's why my weight is always up and down, up and down. Let me put on my glasses so I can really see what you're without switching. Yeah. Yeah, you have to take it easy too much. I ain't got time to be taking it easy all the time. Yeah, I don't have time to take it easy all the time. And like how even now, because I've been having flare with the asthma, what I do is I do cayenne tea. I take pepper tea and have pepper soup to help me with the asthma, because pepper is a natural remedy for that. Like I got pears. I finally got some pears. So I get pears because pear is really good for asthma. And I slice my pear up and I make the tea with the pear. And I add cayenne pepper to it to help me with my asthma, because with the state of Georgia being the way it is, it we I'm not, I don't qualify for any type of state or public assistance at all. And the thing is, the only public assistance I need is to help me with the Medicaid, with the medical expenses, because I have to, otherwise I have to pay everything out of pocket. If I go to the emergency room, I have to pay $250. Okay. Then I have to pay for the ambulance. Then I have to pay for my visit. I have to pay for the doctors. I have to pay for the lab. I have to pay all this stuff out of pocket. Now, this is the thing. A lot of people probably want to know. Well, don't you have health insurance? Guess what? I don't make let them tell it. I'm in that, like I said, that red tape. I'm always in that line of the red tape. So I can't even get insurance, even though I suppose they don't constitutionally on my rights, they don't supposed to deny me any health insurance, but they deny me a plan because the government goes through these insurance companies. So what I have to do is I would have to file a claim against these insurance companies. And none of that stuff is easy. And it creates a lot of stress, with then the stress provokes flare-ups of the chronic illnesses. Then the cycle just repeats itself. I'm having flare-ups again. I'm getting really sick because I'm going through all of these changes, so it's a never end, like I stated, it's a never ending cycle. Like, and so when I with if I have to, that's why I tell people I don't have money to just go out and spend. I'm not lucrative like that right now. I will be one day, but right now, in a natural, I'm not lucrative like that. So if I need to go to the doctor, I may have to pay all of that money out of my pocket. Okay, the doctor visit, the doctor's fee, the test, the lab, any medications I need, anything. Yes, it does. It does. It could take some weeks. It could take a week, sometimes months, to get stuff done. And it's sad that it takes us that long, Charmaine. But that's what happened when you battle chronic illness and diseases. There's no cut and dry to it. You're going to have these struggles, so you're going to have these issues that come about. My rabbit, he's literally standing up. Here he goes. He want to say hi. Say hello. Say I want to be up here with mommy. Say I want to be up here with mommy. That's what he wants. He just want to be up here and be nosy. I guess he changed his mind, so I jumped down. But yeah, so it is. I don't want when see. I have to. I'd like to explain this to people because I do request donations. You know, um, but I don't request donations because I'm trying to sit up here and go get a big house on the hill and buy a Bentley and a Rolls Royce and Maserati and stuff. That's not why I'm asking for donations. It does cost money to fight the system. It really does. Yes, I could do petitions. I could do paperwork and all of that stuff on my own, but I need to also hire an attorney. Attorney costs money to fight these kind of political fights. It's not cheap to fight these kind of fights. Now I decided I am reaching out to some law firms to see if they would be willing to support me, you know, donate their services to assist me. Even if they say, well, we can't just do it completely free, if they're willing to give me some kind of discount and then see if I can, you know, get the donations to help that, because I would show it. I would be like, okay, this law firm said that they will assist me with my Gloves On campaign with getting these injustices um, resolved. But this is how much they're going to charge me. Like, I'm not going to, y'all should know, those people who've been following me for a while, you guys know I'm very transparent. I don't mind posting stuff like that. A lot of people get on. I have had people scoring me, like literally scoring me for doing that, because they're just like, if you do that, then they're gonna be wondering where every time you they make a donation, they're gonna want to know where every red cent goes to. Blah blah blah. Well, I put it this way: one thing I do not never sugarcoat about, whenever it is with any organization, any campaign, when you make donations, some of those donations absolutely do go to the operation of that campaign and of that organization. Let's just be realistic about it. We're not stupid. We know that. We know, like with the American Red Cross, how you think they get all the aid that they get? But the government helps them out a lot too, because they're a private organization, but they've been in the game so long, they know how to manipulate. They know what to do to get all of these millions of dollars from the government. So till I Cause and they never share. You notice that, right? They never ever want to share their secret. Even the March of Dimes, they never want to help little dogs like me. Like they would never want to help me. I had even reached out to the Lupus Foundation. They didn't even want to work with me and help me with my Gloves On campaign because what it is, their intentions is not really to help people. They want to spend as much as the money as possible on things that they can write it off on and then turn around and pocket it. hmm I'm putting it on blast. I'm just going to tell it like it is because it's not like it's news, new news. It's been on the news. That's what they do. That's why number 45 they didn't want his taxes to be revealed because just as an example, how he has written off taxes for his home. This is private home now. He's not using this for any kind of charitable works or acts in no form or fashion. 20 over $21 million in taxes that he has not paid since he been in that estate that he has. 20 over $21 million. But when people manipulate the numbers and they know how to manipulate the system, they get off on doing stuff like that. Me personally, I'm not trying to take that chance because what eventually happens when it backfire and it eventually catches up with you, which it will, even if you're not living, they still going to get their money back. The IRS do not play. The IRS, see, people got to understand the IRS is, yes, it is a government entity, but it's way worse than the federal government. The IRS will take your estate from your lineage. It doesn't matter if it's an inheritance. The inheritance, they're going to take whatever they want to pay back whatever monies your parents or grandparents owed before they died, owed to them before they died. That's just how ruthless the IRS is. So I don't play games with them at all. That's why even with my paperwork, the way I run my business, I am about them paperwork and them receipts because I never, ever, ever want to be in a situation that if I'm getting audited, because you will get audited as long as you got a business, even if you file personal taxes, people who file personal taxes is being audited. You're going to get audited at some point in time in your life. So I don't want to have anything that looks suspicious or that they can use against me to try to, even I don't even want it to look like it's been like it's manipulative numbers or it's a manipulative paper. I don't even want it to have that kind of aura or sting on it at all, stench, because I don't want to have to say, for instance, if they decided to take it upon themselves to say, no, this is, fabrication. This is, this is fraud. They can take it upon themselves to say that because it looks questionable. And then I end up paying monies that I didn't even owe. I don't want to have that because I need all of mine. I need all my bread, every red cent, because I actually have a plan. I have a complete, true, realistic plan. I'm not in here for no games or none of those things. I don't know if you guys saw this. For those who's been following me, like several years ago, I posted a community that I wanted to build. It's called Hope, and it's called Hope, which stands for helping other people evolve. I created that, and that is something that I really want to bring into fruition. It's my own community and everything. Having my own police department, own banks, own everything, own hospitals, all of that stuff. I do, like seriously. So when I say that, when I ask for donations, I already have a plan drafted up. This is the stuff that I just decided the last minute I want to do. Anybody who knows, even prior to me coming out and knowing that I had lupus, I even have my paperwork to show it. I didn't discover that I had lupus until 2017. I was already supporting and advocating for lupus before then, a few years before then. So I didn't start doing this campaigning and being advocate for chronic illness diseases because I discovered that I'm battling them. I was already doing it prior to me finding out. So that's something nobody would never be able to use against me either, because I try to be very careful in my moves and what I do, because people can always go back to previous posts, people can always go back to previous information, they can research stuff out these days, and they'll find out if you're being deceitful or not. I never want to have my name ran it. If somebody ran my name out like that, it would be 100% scandal. It'll be scandalous and it'll be fabrication. It would not be the truth. I never want to give anybody any kind of. I would never want to put myself in any kind of position where someone can honestly say that I was doing shady stuff, and manipulative things. I never want to be in that position ever. So, especially having the wisdom and knowledge, understanding that I'm grateful to have now about life, I definitely would never want that kind of stain or reputation. So, with that stated, I would not intentionally put myself or nobody else in that position. So, that's the only reason we ask for donations, because I really need the finances to help me fight, against this injustices, because money talk, bull ass walks, right? We know that. When you start coming with that spendable paper, then that's when people will listen. So that's the only reason I ask it. I really wish I could do this and not ever need to ask for donations. I would never ask for. I would not ask for nothing. I'd be like, just sign the petition. And I even state this in my videos. Your signature can go much further than your donation, unless you're trying to donate like thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars in the triple digits, in the high triple digits, or millions of dollars. If you making those kind of donations, then yes, because I could go ahead and pay attorney up for about 2 or 3 years. Actually, I could pay them up for 5, 10 years. I could go ahead and pay them up, and they can just represent it. I don't have to worry about trying to pay the attorney. The attorney will be paid up, and all I have to do is then just focus on fighting. And I can go out and I can do the petition. The um I can get the van for the campaign, and I can actually go ahead and, because the van for the campaign actually is not just vans, but I want to get a fleet. I want to have at least 2 or 3 18-wheelers with the Gloves On campaign, so that I can take food, natural, organic food, water, alkaline water, and stuff like that. Um, eco-friendly appliances, because that's necessary, like air filters and things of that nature. I want to be able to make those kind of donations to people who are battling chronic illness and diseases, because it is so essential to our health. Help them if they where their current home is. Hey, poo, put them, create their home where they can be in a where their home would be eco friendly, you know, where they don't have to worry about having issues, with their AC vent and stuff like that, polluting and pushing out contaminated air and stuff. Like, it's so many other factors, even creating um, different fabrics, um, like curtains, like people who like window treatments and they like window fashion. Like, I like curtains, and some people, they may want to have some, and I want to be able to have the ones that are made solely from um, the the bamboo plant, because it's 100% natural, and it's also friendly, and it also helps produce oxygen into your home. So there's a lot of things that I want to do that is way more. It goes and it's seen way further than the natural eye, and I list these things in my petition, and I tell people that's what I want to do as part of my global campaign. So I don't have any hidden agendas, and I do this because me, as a person who battled chronic illness diseases, I understand how essential and how important it is for people who are battling chronic illness and diseases to be able to do that, because it does helps so much. It plays a big part in our wellness and our ability to cope with what we're dealing with. Another thing is waterfalls, nature. I want to be able to plant, gardens and stuff, um, that that caters to those who battle chronic illness diseases. I mean, like botanical gardens, you know. So it's just so much more to it than just, oh, you battling chronic illness and you doing this campaign and you just asking for donations. That I'm telling you guys why, because it's really hard for those of us who battle chronic illness and diseases. Um, and it's really hard to get the support because people haven't really been seeing the money. What happens is when you're small and independent like mine, and people haven't really heard of you, they don't want to support you because they're so used to supporting the major platforms. But those major platforms are not doing anything for them or even have the desire to do half of the things that I would desire to do for those for them who and those who are battling chronic illness and diseases. So um, that's been the biggest part about it. Reaching out to a lot of these major corporations and organizations that's already established, that's supposed to be for those who battle chronic illness diseases. They don't really invest the finances in it like that. So they don't buy, like, they don't have wheelchairs where I could call and be like, oh, I need a wheelchair. I don't have where I could call and be like, I need crutches, so I need bedpan. They don't provide those kind of things. So my organization would be, well, my Gloves On campaign would provide those things. I want to turn it to a nonprofit organization eventually, but it takes money to even do that. If I want it to be, I got to get a sponsor. I got to get a sponsor to do it. To get an organization. They changed it. You used to have to go through all this red tape, but now I guess because too many people been able to get monies and stuff, so now they try to create a system to make it hard and difficult for you to just be able to get assistance now. So that's good. Whatever, they do whatever they want to do. That's what government does. Anything to try to suppress people versus help the people. That's what they do. But yeah. So that's why I really ask everybody to share. The petition. Please encourage your family, friends, and loved ones to share my petition and to sign it. Please sign it. It only takes 5 seconds, if that, to just sign it. You click, you put your email address on it, and you keep it moving. That's all you got. It's that simple, like seriously. So, um, yeah, but I really just need the support because it is really hard. Battling chronic illness and diseases, and I'm going to go ahead and conclude because I'm starting to have a little bit more complications. I don't want to have those issues online, live especially. So I'm gonna go ahead and rest and see on outwardly. You really don't see it as much, but I'm feeling it because that's what happens a lot. It starts from the inside and then it reflects outwardly at times. Not all the time, but when it does reflect outwardly, believe you me, you'll know because your whole body just everything just changes up. Y'all want to see what my rabbit is doing? Y'all see? He's literally up here getting rubbed. That's how spoiled he is. He's very spoiled. But thank you guys so much, and I hope this gave you guys a better insight on chronic illness diseases. I'm going to, start naming symptoms, giving you guys more information about the symptoms, which are anything from being lethargic, extreme fatigue, regurgitation, getting sick when you eat or as you're eating or drinking something, cognitive issues and messes with your memory and with you being able to process information. Stress provokes it. Anything can provoke it, you know. Lack of rest, sometimes too much noise can provoke it, you know, because too much noise, I don't know, it puts stress on your body, I guess. I don't know what it is. I know I've had that experience, whereas if it's too noisy, which is weird because I like to go to night spots and stuff, you know, I really do. I like to go to like jazz clubs or, you know, go out and stuff and, you know, chill. Sometimes I guess it's the vibration from the speakers. Sometimes it can kind of shake my body up, and then next thing you know, I'm having a flare up. So that's weird. I don't know. But yeah, those are some things that happen when that's with lupus and, you know, vagal syncope, multiple sclerosis, chronic pains. Like I have now, I have pain. I've already taken pain meds, so it's not as bad. But the weather also can provoke flare ups. The rheumatoid arthritis that can flare up in GERD also, which is a acid reflux digestive gastrologist gastro disease that can flare up as a result of bodily chronic illnesses and or any other type of chronic illnesses or diseases. Let me see, fainting, blacking out, memory loss, loss of appetite, can't eat, um, excessive sleeping, and then at the same time, with the excessive sleeping, you can also have insomnia. What in the world is this? Oh, that's your whisker. You can also have insomnia. So, as much as it'll cause you to have excessive sleep, it can also turn around and cause you to be up for a few days. And I get that sometimes. Um, like maybe every 2 to 3 weeks, I have insomnia where I'm up for days at a time. Sometimes it happens every week. Lately, it haven't happened every week. I had that last week where I was up for like 2 consecutive days, and then when I crashed, when my body finally shut down and crashed, I was like, I slept almost an entire day. So those are things that happens when you have chronic illness and diseases, um, and you can't control it. So that's you just can't control it, no matter what you do or how much you want to control it. You can't always control it. So um, let me see. Okay, so that's for that. Then I'm going to touch bases on next time on the other chronic illness that I have. I'm going to give you guys more detailed information about GERD and the vasovagal syncope that I battle. Also, the obstructive chronic pulmonary disease. Um, Also, asthma, the rheumatoid arthritis, and just pretty much everything that I'm battling, all of the chronic health battles that we have. I want to give you guys information about it. Okay, so I'm going to try to be more consistent, but like I said, I'm on a really crazy sleep schedule. I'm supposed to be doing a live tonight, but I already know because of the sleep pattern that my body has gotten on now, I'm going to be asleep. So I can't even stay consistent with my own schedule. You see what I'm saying? Like, man. All right. But you guys take care. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. God bless, one love, peace. And I'm out like a light. Say goodbye, Mystic. Say goodbye. Say bye bye. Say bye bye, lovely people. He want to get rubbed. He's getting rubbed, so he's feeling good now. He's like, "Why you stop me? You stop rubbing me, put me on there, say goodbye to people I don't even